I'm one of the PhD researchers who's involved with the M-ADE group. I research in apparel engineering for a slower and more sustainable fashion industry, so I'm going to be kind of discussing what that means and what my research involves. Before I start, I kind of really resonate with what Christina said when somebody says, "What do I do?" and I say I do a PhD, they kind of go, "Oh, that's really cool. In what?" And I say, "Oh, I look at sustainable clothing," and they go, "Oh." They don't think that's particularly impressive and definitely don't know at all what that involves. Also feeling like you don't really have home at university. I think that's something that I definitely really feel as well, because I'm kind of marrying kind of consumer and user behaviour and social sciences with this apparel engineering. I have one supervisor, Simeon, who's in apparel engineering, and then I have another supervisor who's more in buying and marketing, so it can feel a bit like I don't know where I sit, and that can make it hard to kind of really see, for me, to kind of see the value in my research and where that value actually lies. So what is my research? So I think we probably all know consumption disposal rates of clothing really need to slow down. We need a movement towards slow fashion, but clothing is really, really complex, and how we use clothing is really complex. So this is an area that requires further study, and I'm interested in the impact of clothing fit on the use space. So when I say slow fashion, what I mean is a movement away from business as usual towards the production of timeless and durable products intended to encourage consumers and users towards limited, conscious consumption and extended use periods. It's a bit of a longer presentation because I just used the presentation at the conference, so I'm going to skip through some things. But this kind of follows on really nicely from Olivia's presentation in terms of why clothing fit is actually such an issue. As Olivia stated, the fashion industry tends to produce clothing based on the bust, waist and hip measurement. And if you are like the majority of people and are lucky enough to align with retailer assumptions about what your bust, waist and hip measurement will be, you won't be able to find clothing that fits you. But what's exemplified by this image is that even if you do have a bust, waist and hip measurement that aligns with a retailer size chart, you probably still won't be able to find clothing that fits you. On the far left of this image is a body scan of a fit model or a mannequin. I can't remember if that's a fit model or a mannequin. Dress form. And then 7 participants who have the same bust, waist and hip measurement as the dress form within a 3 centimetre tolerance. And you can see that even among all of these women, they would not, if a garment was produced that fit, that for the bust, waist and hip measurement of these women, it would not fit them all in the same way, as they have different heights, postures and proportions. So the majority of people are not able to find clothing that fits them. And the impact of this is evident in mainstream media. These are 3 magazine and newspaper articles discussing this issue. And it's also evident in academic literature. Arpeggio in 2008 found that 77% of women are not satisfied with garment fits in shops. And the impact of this on the youth space has also been found multiple times in literature. In 2017, Inamaki found that 62% of women cite fit as being important in non-garment satisfaction, and 85% of women cite fit as being important in garment attachment. So we have the majority of women not being able to find clothing that fits them, and then it's having a really big knock-on effect on garment satisfaction and garment attachment, and therefore how long we're using our clothing for, how regularly we're using it, and then how much we're buying and disposing. So Brownbridge et al. Sums this up really nicely, I think, that even when sustainable manufacturing practices use the application of floor sizing practices resulting in garments that do not fit compromises sustainability. So even if we produce clothing in the most sustainable way possible, if we continue to produce clothing that doesn't fit, then we're going to continue to see this excessive disposal and short use phases that are so important to address in the movement towards a more sustainable fashion industry. So that kind of led to the development of these 2 key research questions. Why does clothing fit have this impact on sustainability in the use phase, and can technical developments in bespoke garment manufacture support more sustainable models So I developed a three-stage methodology, which I'll just really briefly run through now. So initially I conducted wardrobe studies, so I went into my participant homes and I had my participants try on various items of clothing that they believed to fit them well and they believed not to fit them well, and then discussed with me how they were using these garments, why they were using these garments, how they felt when they were wearing these garments. And what I'm working on now is the development of bespoke garments from 3D body scans, which builds on what a lot of the other people have spoken about today. And I will be producing 3 bespoke garments for 5 participants, which they will then take home and I'll conduct diary studies, so they will log their experiences of wearing these 3 bespoke garments, and then I'll interview them about their experience afterwards as well, which should give me some kind of explorative indication as to whether developments in bespoke garment manufacture and developments in apparel engineering can aid in movement towards a smart fashion industry. So thank you very much.